working with Paul opened a lot of doors for me, and I got to tour with Sting and a whole bunch of other people, and I became known as a good cameraman for tour. Nice. Like a one-man behind-the-scenes director, sound guy, cameraman. So Paul opened some doors, and I was like, I remember I was with Sting, and he was doing an outdoor concert somewhere, and there was a lot of people on the bill, like Neil Young and stuff, and I can't remember who else, but I remember Neil Young because I was down the hallway, outdoor walkway there, and it's just Neil Young walking towards me, and I'm trying to just get past him, you know, without any incident there, and he glared at me, like, he looked at me like, he just glared at me. And I had seen him years, Neil Young I had seen years before in Boston, when he was young, and he was, I think it was Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, but Neil Young did a solo set on the acoustic guitar, and he was singing one song, I think it was Old Man, do you know that song? Anyway, he's singing it just with his acoustic, no other accompaniment, and the audience in Boston Garden, they start clapping along.
Oh wow.
You know how you clap during a song to keep time? And he stopped, he said, I don't reckon I recall hearing no clapping when I wrote this song. And my friend was there, I was like, what an ass this guy is.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's got quite the attitude.
And my friend goes, no, it's okay. He has epilepsy. He might get a seizure from the clapping. I was like, what? He was just playing in front of a fucking drummer with Crosby, Stills, and Nash. And he's worried about, anyway. So anyway, Sting is there at this festival with Neil Young and everybody, and and Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin was performing as a solo artist. Nice. And Robert comes into the dressing room, and Sting goes, hello Robert. He goes, Sting's drummer was a really good drummer named Vinny Colaiuta, or Colaiuta, I forget how to pronounce it, who played with Zappa and a whole bunch of people. Anyway, Vinny was there. And Sting says, hello, Robert. I'd like you to meet Vinny, my drummer. And Robert looks at Vinny and goes, oh, another fat drummer. Because Vinny was kind of fat. He was probably thinking of his own John Bonham from Led Zeppelin, who was fat before he died there. And Vinny, at least my face doesn't look like a map. Because even then, Robert Plant was getting wrinkles. So it's one insult after another. And but one guy I saw, and he was not performing, but he was just there, is Mitch Mitchell, who was Jimi Hendrix's drummer in the Jimi Hendrix Experience, and performed at Woodstock famously with Hendrix, especially. And I talked to him because no one knew who he was.
Really?
But I knew. I recognized him, so I went over to him and I said, because when Hendrix did the Star Spangled Banner at Woodstock, which is on film, you can see it on YouTube, it was him, a solo, crazy guitar solo performance, but with Mitch Mitchell on drums, trying to accompany this madness. And I said to him, hey, I love that, the thing about the Star Spangled Banner, Mr. Mitchell, is that, of course, everyone talks about Jimi Hendrix's mind-blowing performance on that song, but no one ever mentions the drums. I mean, that must have been really, really hard to sort of keep up with that and do something with that, because it was so freeform and chaotic. The way you play, you sound like the Three Stooges breaking out of jail. Which, I don't know if you know what that sounds like, but let me pull that up. I can't play the Star Spangled Banner Hendrix for copyright reasons, but I think I could probably play the Three Stooges trying to bust out of prison. And this is, to me anyway, this is what Mitch Mitchell's drums sound like on the Star Spangled Banner. Here we go. Okay, that's enough. All right. Let's get back to the Beatles here.